Oh, you guys, let's tackle a difficult topic together. It's not even a difficult topic. For some reason, I thought I made a video about this. Hello, I cannot find it. Um, that's how you know I've been doing YouTube for way too long. Anyway, I want to make a video about communicating with your parents because, again, I literally do not see this talked about ever. I have a relatively good experience with it. I feel like I can talk about it with maturity. I know that everyone's situation is completely different, but I am just here to give you my 2 cents. There's so many thoughts running through my brain right now, genuinely, and I don't know where to start. But let me tell you, first of all, my parents are great. I remember thinking when I was young, like, oh my gosh, like they're so strict, and oh my gosh. I really do not mean to make fun of my younger self or literally anyone who's at that age. I think it's just, and it's gonna sound like, oh my gosh, so you're on your parents' side, you're on parents' side, da 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 da. No. As I got older, I realized all the things they were truly protecting me from. Let me tell you what I mean. Um, First of all, they had this rule that I couldn't date until I was 16. Now that I'm older, no, let's raise it. Let's raise it to 18 because I don't know what was going on when I was 15, 16. Anyway, pretty valid rule, by the way, but at the time I liked a boy and I didn't like the rule or whatever. So here's actually what I want to start with. I saw this in a video the other day. The things that matter to you right now do not matter to your parents. And that's not a bad thing. That's not something meant to insult you, but socializing and making memories and even finding love and building friends, maybe your parents are mature enough to understand that and they get that and they want you to do that. You know what I mean? My parents. But the things that matter to you right now do not matter to them at all. They have a whole different spectrum of importance in their mind because they are literally thinking of taking care of you, of working to take care of you, taking care of you, feeding you. The concert that is important to you, the party that is important to go to, even the high school relationship that you're in, although I'm sure your parents will respect it, they will come in with a layer of like, just because of the amount of life experience. A life experience separates you from your parents so much. And listen, don't get me wrong. Of course, their life experience spans across a totally different era than you. So, of course, some things they're just going to not understand. But here's another thing. And I'm not even saying this to like, oh, I'm on the side of parents. From a safety perspective, they will always be thinking about that, okay? And they are actually very right too. Let me share a story with you guys. I was walking around in my neighborhood. Mind you, I live in a relatively safe neighborhood. I was 16. Okay, I was walking by myself, and yeah, I was just walking around my neighborhood. I thought I could have a good day and just walk around my neighborhood. Guess not. Basically, I'm walking up the street, right? So there's actually a light that is, right where I'm about to walk. There's this older man, and he, walks towards me, gets close to me. I'm 16, bro. I'm 16. And he asked me, like, if I have a boyfriend. And right next to him, I kid you not, was a white van. And we should all know what that means. Maybe it wasn't even like that, but I was alone in this situation. There was nobody else walking around this area of my neighborhood. I think there was like a dentist office and a hair salon maybe, but I would have literally had to scream or run. So to a third person that was in the neighborhood that could have been there, it probably looked really crazy what I did. But I didn't respond to this man. I just ran away from him. And by the way, I've never even told my parents that story. okay? Not from any bad thing or whatever, not to keep it a secret or whatever, but especially when you are young, people will people will care about your safety. There are a lot of, those videos of people doing random social experiments where the child is in danger and then an older person steps in. But there will also be, if you are alone, if you're in a group setting, if someone has a bad intention and they see that you are alone, they're going to assume that maybe you're weak and can't defend yourself and they're going to do something about it. And by the way, this is not to say that you can't go out, can't have fun, because that's not what I did. But it made me understand where my parents were coming from with such greater perspective. And now, the way that I the way that I communicate with them is just there's really no other way to say it than I'm being straight up, I'm being direct. I come to them with a plan of action. I come to them like, hey, I want to do this. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be with these people. What do you think? And I think that that is where a lot of people, even young people, kind of struggle because I've met people. That will even be like, oh, well, my parents are going to say no, so I'm not going to come. Okay, but did you even ask? And by the way, there was an era where, first of all, I wasn't doing that good in school always, most of the time. You guys don't know that about me, but I did have an era where I was doing really bad in school. So, of course, my parents were going to say no to me going out and out and out in my mind. You know what I mean? It makes sense in my mind, I mean. But let me get my thoughts. I don't want to make a part two to this. That's why I'm getting my thoughts. Um, it it shouldn't be that hard to communicate with your parents, but I'm going to tell you there is going to be a weird I don't know how to say it other than there could be a weird tension going on because it's not even like a power dynamic, nothing like that, but you have to show your parents that you're responsible in order for them to respect you. A lot of the times, your parents are like, oh, you need to respect me, you need to show me respect. Sure, you've taken care of me all my life, you've fed me all my life. Sure, sure, sure. But the only way that your parents are going to genuinely respect you is if they see that you are an adult, if they see that you can handle yourself in social situations, if you're thinking about safety in the way that they are, if you come to them with a plan of action, it will make talking to them so much easier, the interacting with them so much easier. Don't get me wrong, there's been times where my parents have straight up told me no, but that was because they knew something about the situation that I didn't know about. There was this one time where I wanted to hang out with a group of people. Something bad happened to those group of people, is all I'm going to say. Not that they're murdered or anything, but something came about, and then I was like, whoa, I could have been there. You know what I mean? But it a lot of honesty has to come into play, and my parents are very direct. So if they said something that hurt my feelings, I just had to keep it moving. You know what I mean? But even when they say those things, I fear that they are doing it to protect you. And it sounds like I'm on the side of parents a lot of the time, but truly, I just understand both sides coming in. You should be able to have your own agency. You should be able to have your own free will. You should be able to go out or whatever, but you are also the one that has to balance that with all of your responsibilities. Are you even going to drive? Are you even going to use public transportation? Who are you even going to be with? Is the person that you're going to be with even as responsible as you are? So, so that's my take. I don't know if wait, I actually do need to make part two because I forgot about a story to tell you. So I'm going to go do that.